So I moved to California right after college. I came out here for my first job. And I came out here and I worked for Apple Computer, my very first job out of college. Yeah. Apple, interesting company, because very, very secretive. They don't tell you a lot. They didn't tell me much about my job. All they said is when you get here, you're going to be working on a new product that's going to change the world. And I was intrigued because I was like, oh my God, you know, what could it be? And imagine my surprise when I got there and I found out I was working on this. Anybody remember this? No, you thought I was going to say iPod or iPhone, didn't you? It's a Newton. Yeah, who remembers the Newton? Yeah, Apple would like it that way. So this is what's called a Newton. It's, if you don't know what it is, it was kind of like a Palm Pilot, if you remember what those are. Because this crowd's got to remember Palm Pilots. Okay. It's only about the size of 3 of them, right? And we used to say at Apple, we made the only size people didn't want. So yeah, the Newton was famous not just for being one of Apple's biggest failures, if not their biggest. It was also a big flop in Silicon Valley. We're talking like Google Glasses, bad. Yeah. So I have the unique distinction of being someone who worked at Apple when it wasn't cool. Yeah. So I'm old enough to remember, right? Some of you too might remember when Apple was going out of business, right? So I was there those days. So it was, moving out here from Central Illinois was a big adjustment, because coming out to Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, you guys definitely see things differently. And you have a very different concept and view on motorized scooters and wheelie things. So yeah, you guys think of things differently. Like, yeah, you guys got a real different read on stuff. Like your concept of bootstrapping, right? So like everybody knows like the rags to riches myth of Silicon Valley. I love the guys. It's like, yeah, we just had an idea, just me and my buddy, and all we had was a garage in Palo Alto. And I'm like, a garage in Palo Alto, that's all? I'm like, dude, if you have a garage in Palo Alto, you were like born on third base, asshole. Ah, God. No, where I'm from, plenty of people start companies in garages. Most of them are in the pharmaceutical business too. We just don't call them startups, we just call them meth labs, you know? Yeah, very, very, very different place. So yeah, yeah. People really hate on tech lately. I know, and it's. I mean, I get it. I understand. I can understand how people get irritated with it. I'm there. I know. But the one complaint I hear all the time, is women will say, you know, there aren't enough women in tech. There are not enough women in tech. It's a male-dominated industry. And I'm like, I see where you're coming from. I get it. You know, I know. You know, I've been in the industry for 30 years now, and I can tell you, women, there are no men in tech either, okay? You're gonna tell me this 40-year-old dude I'm sitting next to in a hoodie that says Splunk and spends more on Star Wars figures than I do on my car is a male dominating anything? Nah, I don't think so. No, I don't. Yeah. So yeah, because I work in tech, everybody just assumes, right, I'm a technical guy, or that I know stuff. And I'm not an engineer, but yeah, people will ask me to fix their computer, make their kid's website. But I'm not. I'm more on the marketing and the product side, you know, where the real evil shit goes down. Yeah. Yeah, so people will ask me, my device is spying on me. They spy on me, Brian? I'm like, no, technically it's called advertising retargeting. But it's not spying, per se. Because I don't worry. I don't worry. If I'm not worried, I don't worry about my phone listening to me. I'm worried my phone's watching me. Because I was on Instagram the other day, and I got an ad for Spanx for Men. And I never said anything. That's the thing. I'm not kidding. They're not called Spanx. They're not like Spunks or Junks or whatever. But it's like something, it's like a thing. And the video is, it's graphic. It's like this dude, in his belly, and it's like, and pulls it up like a sausage. I'm like, that's gonna be a hell of a date night, right? She's in Spanx, he's in Spanx. You get home, 45 minutes later, forget it. Just go to bed.